always wanted to win MIDI, jacked, Wajio here, and today we came first place with Crystron at our OTS locals for this. Oh, show him the mat, show him the mat. Show him the mat, show him the mat.
Oh, come on. Come on, fam.
Come on.
You're probably fam. Probably enough, fam.
Yeah, we got with Chris.
Oh, probably won because of this.
Is that guy the Hulk? Yeah, we won with Crystron, went 4-0-1. The only tie was a really long grind game against Blue Eyes. Show Eric. But yeah, Eric. Game 1 was against Centurion, and 2-0 that. Game 2 was against like the most jank 60 card pile ever. It was like raw branded, and I just like had droplets both times. So I was raw disciple. I was like, okay. and then game 3, that was against Eric. He won game 1 pretty quick. I just didn't have the right non-engine. And then game 2, up in like all non-engine. Then went to like this 10-turn grind game. Ended up winning with like 30 seconds left.
What deck was he playing?
He was playing Blue Eyes. Probably had Blue Eyes, but he only saw Lordly load at the very end. Like his literally last draw, I already had Dawn Dragster. So it like was just pure Blue Eyes. It's kind of rough.
Just a note, pure Blue Eyes.
Don't do it.
You need Primate.
Yeah, you need like another like plus 2
unfortunately.
Primate, yeah. And then game 4 was against Malice. That was another 2-0. I didn't win a single die roll, by the way. All my die rolls were losses. And then game 5 was my only one that went to 3. That was against another Malice. Yeah, game 1 was pretty good. I ended up winning. I forget how. Game 2, he just shifted me out of like the worst hand I've seen in my life. And then game 3, it's like I was able to set up my board, and I ashed his Fua, so he couldn't get any more draws. Or that was game 1, sorry. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was the tourney recap quick, and I'll get you with the deck.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything too special compared to like most Crystron lists, but I have something cooking.
Nice.
Alright. Should I move this over here?
No.
Okay. I'll start with the tuners. We're on pretty standard 2 Trist and 1 Citri. Citri like barely even came up for me, but I mean you sort of just have to run it. But Tristaros is like probably MVP of the deck. I would say MVP of the deck, but like, there's so many cards that are MVPs. This card's insane. If you want a quick rundown, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can chain it to summon anything from your deck and synchro using that card specifically. It doesn't have to be Tristaros, so it helps you dodge Imperm on like your Sofador and stuff like that. So just normal summoning this guy and then doing your combos or special summoning it off your Sofefnir is crazy.
Nice.
And then obviously the Grave effect is like the biggest effect. Summons 2 from deck, and then the other guy will summon him back. Pretty decent. Now on to the little guys. They're on triple smugs. He's your best little guy. Searches a spell trap, which grabs you inclusion usually, but if you already open inclusion, which I was actually a lot today, you just grab cluster for like a really good end board. Cluster is like a really good card in the Malice because it just pops 2. Even the pop 1 sometimes comes up, but like popping 2 Malice names or like a link in a Malice monster is just usually like hinders their like plays they can do even with extenders. So yeah, Smiger's crazy, mandatory 3-0. Then 1 East Thistavern. I was on the turtle. Before I wasn't on the turtle, and I found lines get really awkward and like you stop halfway sometimes. Maybe it was my first time playing the deck when I was trying it. But this is my second time playing the deck, and now that I'm more familiar with the lines, find turtle actually comes up a lot. So I would definitely run the turtle. He just specials 1 from hand. He's good for follow-up as well if you don't even have to use him. But he's always just nice to have. I opened him a lot. And then Thistavern searches a monster, same as Smiger. Actually, in my game 3 against the guy to play around Imperm against my Malice opponent, Anyways, yeah, so I had to use the Smiger on field effect to pop my inclusion and then grab Tristaros from deck to dodge Imperm on my Sofador. So it actually does, the on field effects do come up. So yeah, I had to sacrifice, actually no, I was able to get cluster too because I already had inclusion and had the stuff in hand, so I just got it back off the synchro. For level 5s, triple Sofefnir and 2 Sofador. Sofefnir is really good if you have another Crystron. If you don't, it sucks. I hate just opening it on its own, but it's like a so good with a Crystron that you have to run 3. It's basically a rundown. You pitch another Crystron. If it's in hand or grave, you summon it and then pop a card you control, usually itself, because if it's popped, you summon a Crystron from deck. Usually you're summoning Tristaros, and you have Sulfador on your field. And then Sulfador will, on summon, sends Foolish Burials any 2 Crystron cards from deck to grave, which sometimes you can send Cluster to grab back. But its summoning conditions from hand to grave, target a Crystron you controlled, card you control, destroy it, and then summon it. But it locks you into machines, but who cares? Yeah, also a crazy card, but it's best to grab off inclusion. Now for the honorary guys, on 3 Terratop engine. Unfortunately, still don't have the 3rd one, but yeah, it's just crazy. Gets you into Cherubini, also gets you into Chambara lines, which help you OTK. And they're just bodies, so it's nice. They're machine bodies too. And then the other 2, which isn't as conventional, is on 2 title. These are like debatable. One of the games I had them, they did help me extend to push for game, or just get enough so he didn't have any follow-up. But yeah, I really liked it. Wasn't anything too crazy. You could honestly just run without it, but it's like another opener. I was also thinking about Scrap Recycler, but it's not that good at all, so I just wouldn't run it. But that's just another option. I don't see people playing, but I see why. Title is just a nice card. I don't know. Not mandatory, but I liked it. On to the rest of the engine. 3 inclusion, 1 cluster. Pretty standard. Cluster, actually I'll go over inclusion first. It's a Rhoda on activation. And then it prevents you guys from using a battle once, which actually came up once today. He couldn't swing over my Tristaros. He couldn't clear it like that, so it just, like, forever pressure. He couldn't out. And then you can banish from grave to Monster Reborn something, so it's really good. Mandatory 3 of. And then Cluster. The first line of text, Crystron cards you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. That comes up quite a bit, especially in Malice matchups. Like, they can't banish anything, even Cluster, which is crazy. And then obviously the pop 1 or pop 2 if you control a Synchro, a Crystron Synchro. It also recycles your cards. It's a really good card. For the rest of like honorary engine, just a Foolish and Prosperity. Foolish is really good, obviously to dump your guys. And then Prosperity is just to search anything. You know how it is. And then non-engine, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Droplet, those are the 3 ofs, and then 2 Ogre, 2 Nib, a Callby, and 2 Fenrir. I know I saw someone at the YCS, most recent one, running Fenrir, probably like a cash tier package. I wanted to play it more pure, so I just ran 2 Fenrir. And it did come up one time. I don't know if the Malice guy just like, I don't know, but like I summoned Fenrir and he just had like Nightmare Griffin without the Abaoku. So I just summoned Fenrir to the zone and activates effect, and then he just like didn't do anything about it. I was like, okay, sick. So I just had Fenrir on top of stuff. But in theory, this guy is not only like a going second card, but he's also unbrick some hands with Vermilion Dragon Mech. So yeah, I just wanted to run 2 of it, and honestly, it was really good. I did side it out a lot though, but I mean, that's kind of expected. The rest of my non-engine felt really good, except like the Ogre, probably debatable. I was expecting a lot of blue eyes too, that's why Ogre was there, but I mean, they play around it now. Okay, on to the extra deck. On double Elite Skelly.
Elite Skelets.
He's super powerful. The attack and defense nerf honestly does come up a lot. Finder attack and defense. Yeah, it just is continuous. When he Synchro Summon, grabs back a Crystron from grave or banished. So, yeah, that's his main effect. And the other main, I guess they're all main effects. If he's destroyed by any means, he just summons 1 from grave or banish. So, usually you're using their Tristaros to pop this guy, summon 2 level 5s from deck, or whatever you need. And then he brings back your Tristaros from banish. So, really powerful.
Nice.
And then let's go from levels on there. 1 Chambara. This guy came up a few times. He's just a really good OTK tool and really easy to set up. So, quick 46 damage. Level 7s, Dawn Dragster and Samurai Destroyer. It's pretty standard. I was only on one Dawn Dragster, but you could arguably run 2. I do have kind of 2 free slots in the extra deck with this build. So you could probably just run a second Dawn Dragster, or you could run like Metal Tronus or Ultimate Slayer targets. But yeah, this just spell trap negate. This guy, if you get nibbed, you chain Tristaros to go into him, and then he just brings back something. If you don't have like if your Infinity gets impermed or whatever happens. Level 9s, Quarian Gondrax, and Vermilion Kraken mech. Quarian Gondrax is really strong for Tristaros. On your opponent's turn, if you just have Tristaros on level 5, you can either flex into Dawn Dragster, or you can go into him, usually. He just have Banish 3 from Grave or Banish. You can't or from Field or Grave, any 3 monsters. So, yeah, he's just insane. Really liked him. Vermilion Dragon Mech. The line with him is if you obviously he's like back row removal, one of your only forms of back row removal in the deck, unfortunately, but is what it is. You probably just run Phoenix as well. I just don't know where mine is. But yeah, in theory, these 2 make Vermilion Dragon Mech. And then Tristaros can banish, target this to pop, summon 2. It basically does the same thing as Ellie Skilly, and he summons himself back. So yeah, it just gives you more starter options if you open Fenrir plus that.
That's cool.
And then I was on Legacia, or I don't know how you pronounce this. Legacia. But yeah, level 12, just on summon, special summon, not even synchro summon. Non-target pops card with the highest attack, and you draw a card as well, even if you don't pop. So, I don't know, came up a few times actually, so it's cool. Now onto the links. We're on the Clockwork Knight and the Cherubini. These 2 are very standard. You have to run these. This just send your like normal summon Smiger and then go full combo. This is for your Terratop. Send Smiger with it. And then these 2 spots are like the fill spots. So these are like literally nothing. They never came up. This is for a different build that I'm trying that probably duck profile soon eventually. But yeah, I'll show you guys what's up with these. This in theory can also, I was thinking about this, if you want to run Regulus, you can use Tristaros with this up. If you already have combo and you have Terratop, you can just make this instead of Cherubini. And then when you get to the Tristaros line, you summon them both to the zones. And then you just go search Regulus. You get another Omnigate, but it feels really win more, so you don't really need it. But it's there in theory. And then Barricade Board Blockers, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's whatever. XCs, Nova Infinity, and I'm also on the Mechaba. Just because if they nib you on Nova, and like they don't know as much, you just get a free Mechaba. Or if they out Nova somehow, like they pop it. But yeah, Infinity is like one of the MVPs of the extra deck. You always want to end on it, or just get into it with your lines. Really easy to get 2 level 5 machines. So just go Nova Infinity. Yeah. Pretty good. And then side deck, nothing too crazy. 3 Lancia and 3 Crossout. These were the cards aside in the most by far. Crossout's crazy. I had a Crossout. The guy game 2 had a Crossout his Prosperity because he started with Prosperity, banish 6, and I had like all non-engine, but no Ash. So like I was Crossout your Prosperity. And then that ended up hindering him enough, I guess, to where we just ended up going this really big grind game and ended up winning. And Lancia's Lancia. Triple attack and 2 thrust. Cool. Druis Mag for like Fiendsmith. 2 Lightning Storm, and then D-Barrier and a Droll. Droll's for Crossout. I never really even got Drolled, surprisingly, so I was chill with that. And then D-Barrier is for Thrust. So yeah, that's a quick rundown. Like I said, nothing too crazy, but, you know, Crystron be Crystron. Thought it was really solid. Yeah, it was solid. It performed.
Nice, 5-0.
4-1, 4-1.
Oh yeah, 4-0-1, 4-0-1
games.
And 26 person tourney.
Yeah, 26, yeah.
Nice. Alright. Nice, congrats on that.
Thanks.
See you later.
See you.